Hey guys, Patrick here with another reaction style video. I know I haven't done one of those in a while, but some drama came up that was too good to pass up on because it involves our boy Phil. You see, for those of you who don't know, Turkey Tom, a YouTuber, has recently released a documentary on Phil called DarkSydePhil, A Decade of Failure. And DSP does not like it, even though he maintains that he has not watched it and is not bugged by it or something along those lines. I don't know. He refuses to stop talking about it. And so I thought we would react to his take on the documentary right now. So let's go.
We got through the intro. What was that, 15 minutes? 19 minutes? All right, we got it done. Because now, ladies and gentlemen, this is the subject, this is the topic that everyone's going to want to hear. This is the part of the podcast that everyone's going to clip, all right? Everyone's going to put all over the internet, and this part of the podcast will be discussed on everyone else's show but mine. Okay? That's how it works, right? The drama portion is what everyone else outside of this stream wants to hear. Maybe you're someone who's a regular and you don't even give a crap. I don't blame you. Why don't I blame you? Because, as you know, I'm not a guy who focuses on drama. I'm not a guy who focuses...
I'm not a guy that focuses on drama at all. I'm only addressing it right here and right now. He's right about the clip, though, because I'm literally watching it on Memology 101. So, you know, he's not wrong, except for the part where he's like, I don't care. You know, everyone cares but me. That's why I'm addressing it right here, right now.
This is on this crap. Entertainment value, right? I like putting out content that's game-centered, that's chill. Even though, yes, watching me rage or whatever at a game is entertaining, maybe that's not so chill. It's still fun, right? It's
Neither is watching you beg.
You know the kind of content that I like to put out.
I love drama.
Drama shit.
I love it. I crave the drama.
Essentially what he said in this 20-minute video is, first of all, he defended his stance on naming the video 10 Years of Failure, essentially saying, well, Phil doesn't feel he's a failure. He's in a great mental space. Good for him. And if he doesn't want to be in drama and he's happy, good for him. I'm happy for him. But that doesn't mean that essentially he couldn't have been better, that he couldn't have made better decisions, and that for the last 10 years, he's been on the decline, and I consider that failure. So really, it's a perspective thing. You know,
not really.
Failure.
It's an objective thing.
Absolutely decline, or like I said, a downward slope. I don't think that it's failure, because failure would be, I'm insanely desperate. I'm going out of business, right? I don't have any other recourse. Everything is.
I'm not desperate at all. I just put on a vest for months at a time so that people would give me money. I act like a clown and put on a cowboy hat and gunner glasses and beg and cry and say I can't pay my bills. And that I'm financially destitute, and that I might lose my house. But, you know, I'm not a failure. I'm not a failure in anything.
Falling apart at the seams here, right? So I'm desperate, and I'm doing crazy stunts for money every day, like sucking cucumbers and kissing chickens. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not me. I know I like taking stabs at Deflecting USA because
No, that's not you at all. You put on vests and gunner glasses.
Can't believe he still does that.
Far more respectable.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the case. I'm still someone who's true to myself, makes the content that I enjoy and my viewers enjoy. I have a belief system that I stand by, and I can still do that, and I'm still successful. I'm still operating a successful business. So again, I disagree. Except that last night I got the notification that I have no money, and I was like, that really sucks. Every day the money I get from tips I'm transferring to my bank account. So essentially I'm overdrawn. For them to tell me that I have that, you know, the notice that you're, you know, no balance or whatever. With him saying it's failure, he thinks that's failure. That's a subjective thing. And he has the right, and he even says, I titled it to try to make it entertaining. I get it.
I mean, it's not subjective at all, because you literally were somebody with 100,000 subscribers, getting invited to conventions and all this other shit, and now you live paranoid in your house by yourself with your wife. You know, like no friends, no connection to the outside world whatsoever. Begging that you're gonna go homeless someday. So, I mean, how is that subjective?
It's called clickbait. You know, it is. It's a clickbait title. You want people to watch the documentary, you make it overly dramatic. You have a thumbnail of me insanely close up, like this. Like, this is the thumbnail of the video that he makes of me, like this. Like, you can see the boogers in my nose.
I've seen this part.
People are like, Jesus, stop! And
yeah.
He says things, and I'm like, wow, that really resonates, that sounds great. And then he'll say something that immediately, like, contradicts it, and makes it feel like almost like a red flag. Now, let me tell you. So, he'll be like, you know, he said to his audience, he wants to keep out of drama, and I respect that, and I get that. If he really is happy in his mental space where he is, and he likes what he's doing, then there's no reason, you know, for him to do anything further, you know. But then he'll say, immediately after that, but you know, if he would just watch my 2-hour documentary and do a big live react to it, that would be good content for him, that would be good content for me, because then I could re-react back to his reaction, and then we could do more. And I was like, I'm listening to it, I'm like, so I get it. What it is there is now...
No ad. But I will say, like, DSP is going about this the wrong way. He's like, I'm above this. I'm above, you know, this drama shit that everyone's doing, like, Tom is literally giving him, like, basically advice on how to make money. Like, oh, I made a thing on you, and you can react to it, and it's a fucking 2-hour documentary. You can watch the whole thing. So what is that? 2 hours of content. People would watch him, you know, even if it's just to rage, people would watch him react to that, and Phil could easily stretch it out into 4 hours, right? So right there, that's 4 hours, and YouTube's, like, monetization is based on watch time. So he could stretch that shit out, and then everyone would watch it, and he would make money off of that, and then Tom could react to his reaction, and the DSP could react to his reaction, and it would be a back and forth of which they would both profit, you know? But DSP's like, no, I'm above that. This is like when he was, you know, talking shit on Keemstar, when Keemstar was like, I offered you $50,000 to do this thing. And DSP was like, you did not contact me like a regular business owner, like a true professional person would. And it's like, bro, who gives a fuck? You know, he's like mad that it's like, oh, he called me at inopportune times, or like, you know, he didn't email me, he tried to talk to me through Twitter DMs. It's like, bro, it's $50K. You're above $50K if it's not given to you in the right way. Like, oh, it was presented on the wrong plate, so you spit in the waiter's face. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know, and it's the same way here, where he's presented differently, but he's presented with the same opportunity to make a lot of money off of this, like, pseudo drama with Turkey Tom, but he's too good for it. But he's not gonna do that. So instead, everyone else is going to make money off of this drama except for Phil. And because he would rather have integrity and cry to his fans about how he needs donations rather than make the money himself by getting a little filthy in the pig pen.
Unity on YouTube, okay? It's a vicious circle kind of a deal where someone says something, and it could be innocuous. It could be like a little comment. Someone responds to it. Then someone responds back to it. Then the reaction community watches the statement, the response of the response, and they create the next level of content out of that. And it just becomes this giant circle of spinning content of people all reacting to drama. All right?
Yeah, and it drums up views and money.
That's a healthy YouTube ecosystem, right? That's absolutely what it's all about. Show me the money. Allow me to tell you a story. And I've never told this story publicly before. I will tell this a story to everyone right now publicly because I think this actually is very appropriate to the situation. All right? Last year, before all this drama with the Lol Cow podcast.
The Lol Cow podcast.
I was friendly with Boogie. Over the years, we'd had a few conversations behind the scenes, back and forth. Not long conversations, very short ones, brief ones, a little, you know, how you
I have him sped up, and he still talks so slow.
And shit like that, right? Okay, and one of the conversations that we had was about particularly working together on something. And at this point, there was a situation where we were talking early on about this Lol Cow podcast and the possibility and stuff like that, right? And I'm going to paraphrase it, all right? I'm not going to sit here and read the direct DMs I had with Boogie. This was over a year ago. This is before any of the drama.
Why? Is it because he's not John Rambo?
But basically, the conversation we had, I really feel this is the difference.
Boogie's not his best friend, so he doesn't get that privilege.
People consider lol cows, all right? When you look at the Wings of Redemptions, when you look at the Boogies, you look at these people, all right? Here's the difference between me and them, all right? This is what you're going to understand. It's a lot different.
Is they're willing to profit
off of it. As we're having this conversation, we're talking about the possibility of working with Keemstar on a podcast or whatever, right? So basically, Boogie said something to the effect, and by the way, I think this stream is about to play ads. No, I'm telling a story. I'm going to skip the ads, okay? Basically, the way he equated, I know this is weird, because I didn't bring this up, he did. Boogie actually said something to the effect of the way he sees YouTube, or how YouTube is kind of like Walmart, all right? So let's think about it. It's kind of like Walmart. Well, Walmart, everyone knows, is a pretty bad business, right? Walmart comes into town with the lowest prices, the lowest cost for their products, and when Walmart comes to town, they sweep in and they take over. They could cause all the small businesses in a town to go completely out of business, all right? They, sadly, underpay.
Yeah, those assholes giving people better deals for what they could buy. You could overpay at a local business. But instead, and I'm not defending Walmart, but I'm just saying, like, DSP is trying to say that Walmart is this I don't know, pure evil. Nothing good comes from Walmart, but it's like, I don't know. I saved a lot of money shopping at Walmart.
That they do this, okay? And the employees are overworked, underpaid, not trained, right? They'll have someone who's a door greeter, who's an elderly person. This is their job. This is great to have a living. Oh, you're fired. We don't need you anymore. Why? What did I do? You didn't do anything wrong. We just don't want to pay anymore. Bye. Right? This is how they are. This is their company. And there's countless stories of...
This is like complaining at Walmart, or it is Walmart. This is like complaining that McDonald's treats you as like expendable. Working at McDonald's or Walmart should not be a career. I'm sorry to say. Like, that should be like a temporary situation while you get some sort of higher education or learn a trade to go on to a career.
Walmart being a bad company in this regard. Now, Walmart is a fine company. They don't break laws. They do everything law-abiding, and, they're on the up and up. But, man, when they come in, they can completely wipe clean a small town, and now the whole town's focused on their Walmart, right? Now, you can argue positives and negatives about that, right? Walmart, now we got to shop at Walmart, and there's nothing we can do about it. So now it's a Walmart town, right? That's YouTube, in a nutshell. That's literally YouTube, and that's this lol-cow culture on YouTube. What you found is you found people who are so desperate, right? They need to make money in some way. They can't just operate anymore and have a life on YouTube for some reason. Maybe their popularity has waned. Maybe they just made a ton of mistakes or whatever. And the only way that they can get attention on YouTube is by creating drama. So what they do is they create the drama. They know the drama's toxic. They know that it's harmful. They know that it's not good. But that's the only way that they can get by.
That's not true. You could get a job. You could quit YouTube and get an actual job and maybe just use YouTube as a supplemental income. What DSP is referring to is people who were big on YouTube, and they made their living off of YouTube, and now they can't do that anymore because their popularity has waned or they made mistakes. And rather than face the truth and return to the real world, they would rather try and scrounge up every last penny they can to keep their cushy YouTube job. And he wants me to feel bad for those type of people. He's like, you should have sympathy for these people, for these has-beens who now act like assholes to get any last scrape of attention because they can't go back to working a real job. Like how DSP says he doesn't have the time, even though that's what we really know that's not the case. And the way that Boogie in the recent documentary said that he was too good to go back and do it. At least Boogie was honest about it, about how he feels about the situation.
So they sit there and they create drama. And then everyone else sits on side and says, ha, now we capitalize. And we jump on this. And we make 2-hour documentaries. And we do podcasts about them. And we slam them. And we rip them a new butthole. And we constantly make fun of them. And we meme on them. And we milk them. Milk them. I want you to think about that statement. Because
what else do you do to a cow, Phil?
As I was watching Turkey Tom's 20-minute response video about me, okay? He distinctly said 2 things in the video, all right, that resonated with me overnight as I slept on it. And the first he said was, I wish he would watch my documentary so he could react to it, I could react to his reaction, and then he would come on the Lolcow podcast, or the Lolcast, whatever the fuck it's even called. I don't know, because they had to change the name because they're so stupid. They made a show that they couldn't even use the name of, now they had to change it. I don't give a fuck what it's actually called anymore.
I don't give a fuck, but I'm just going to insult it.
The reason he wants me to watch his documentary is for more content for himself. Do you understand? He admits it. Right there in the video, he says it.
And for you.
Phil the Lolcow. And then he says at the end of the video, well, unless Phil decides to actually do this interview with me, I think I'm done milking him. Milking him. I want you to, again, think about that. All right? And then I started to read into what people were saying about Tom and or other things going on, and I started reading messages. And basically, here's the information that I got overnight.
So when DSP... But keep in mind that when you do this with Phil, when you, don't do any of your own research and you just read what other people have said about him or post about him or whatever, that's all lies and slander and not true, and you're missing context, and it's not the full picture, and none of it's true. But he constantly does this with other people. He's like, I read about you one time, and I know everything about you. and you're a bad person.
Are you aware that Turkey Tom is part of this lolcow culture and lolcow cast? I didn't know that. I don't watch it. I'm not paying attention to it. Oh yeah, he's called one of the lolcow farmers. Him and Woodahar and others, they're showing up to every show, and they're not highlighted like lolcows. They're highlighted like big shots, right? They come to the show in order to basically degrade the subjects of the show, which at this point I guess is Boogie and Wings and whoever this other person is who was my replacement, because I didn't do the show, even though you can't replace someone who never agreed to do the show. But whoever they are, I guess, right?
The ego on
like
this man.
Like, here's the people who are supposed to be the hosts, but in reality, they're just the targets of ridicule and toxic behavior. Again, they're just people shooting down at them. That's the show. That's apparently what the show is. And Turkey Tom is one of these people.
And he's meant to be my replacement, even though he's not actually my replacement, because I never actually agreed to be on the show in the first place. So, okay, well, I guess that's giving him more credit. He's not your replacement. He's your superior then, I guess.
People who essentially, oh yeah, you see, we're better than them, so it's time for us to shoot down at them and basically insult them and do this kind of fucked up stuff to them constantly. All right? And for what and again, I'm not watching this show. I have nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with it. But people contact me. People actually contacted me this week and said, Phil, you have no idea. You made the absolutely, positively, 100% correct decision to not work with Keemstar and be on that show. You predicted it.
He does this all the time. Oh, hold on.
It completely correctly. This was not...
You were... You know, where are these people? DSP always cites these people as like, you know, I did do this or I didn't do this, and like when everybody's telling him he's wrong about something, and he's like, I get inundated with messages of people telling me that I did the right thing and blah 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 blah. And it's like, where are these people? You know what I'm saying? Like he always claims that there's this mountain of people who have informed him that he's made the correct decision every time, when everyone else tells him that he made the absolute wrong decision. Oh, man.
Not a show where it was going to be the host talking about topics intelligently, respectfully. It's literally the ridicule those people show. That's the whole point. And it's just gross. It's toxic. It's insulting. From what I don't understand.
I mean, people do that to these people anyway. You know, people do that to Boogie. They do that to Wings, and they do that to you anyway. So wouldn't you rather at least profit from it?
They're being degraded to the point where I guess Boogie was forced to get on his hands and knees and apologize to Keemstar because he went on someone else's show. And there was drama, and he's like, you should have done that on our show to make us money. Now apologize to me that you did this, because you're so stupid. And he did it, apparently. Right? Now, again, I didn't see any of this. This is what people tell me.
Yeah, he didn't actually have to do that.
That's what people want to be involved in? You think this is valid content on YouTube and the internet? To literally just be a bullying group.
Valid.
It should really be called We Bully People Podcast. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Stop whining like a bitch. Jesus. That's all it is.
Right.
It's a bullying podcast. We just bully people all day like it's a fucking schoolyard of people beating down on people. That's what the show is. Right?
DSP constantly talks about this shit like he's above bullying. No, what he wants is for people not to bully him. He's allowed to call people idiots and shitheads and fucking, like, you know, insult them to no end, but, you know, such as, like, and attack people who, you know, have had nothing to do with him out of pure jealousy, like he did with, like, PewDiePie and shit. But, you know, when people do it to him, it's bullying, and it's not okay, and it's sick and demented.
So, thank God I'm not involved. Yeah.
Oh, and Toby Turner.
I'm not stupid. I'm wise to this shit. When you tell me that the name of the show is the Lol Cow Show or the Lol Cow Podcast, there's no respect. There's no intention of actually helping people or doing something positive. That's a toxic show. That's the point.
You help people by playing video games?
You know, that's why I want nothing to do with it. I'm so... And again, here's the difference. Boogie and Wings, they shop at Walmart, right? Anything to get ahead, anything to make a buck, anything to fucking get them to a position where they're doing... Yeah,
you would never catch Phil in a Walmart. He's too bougie for that shit, okay? nothing but top shelf gin for the fucking pig lord here.
Something because they need that, right? I don't need that. I'm successful. I have a business. I'm good. People come and watch my content. They enjoy my content. They support my content. I do positive content all day. I don't do this lolcow shit. People try to pull me into their spinning vortex of drama shit. But I stay out of it. So why would I want to be involved in a show like that? I'd be a moron.
To make money!
And if anything...
To make money! To make the money that you're constantly begging for, that you say that your house is gonna get fucking foreclosed on, that you had to declare bankruptcy for. That's why you do it.
This is, right now, represented if you're here every day, that level of shit. My involvement with Boogie and Wings was going to be a positive podcast where we talk, we interact, we have good topics about things. We can talk about our lives, our personal situations. You can talk about current events in the news and everything. Dude, I do this every day on my own show.
Oh my God. Could you imagine DSP, Boogie, and Wings talking about shit in the news? Could you imagine them talking about this shit that's going on in the fucking Israel and Palestine right now? Could you imagine it? Well, personally, I think they deserved it. No, but in all serious, and then he gets shit for that take, and he's like, guys, learn to take a fucking joke, okay? And then Boogie's like, well, I think both sides, have good, valid points. Fence sitter Boogie on Israel and Palestine. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's a good thing that did not go through. Oh my God. those three giving the most fucking brain dead takes on like world politics. Because what else would they talk about that's in the fucking news? Like, and also, you know, again, like, people don't watch lolcows for their, like, well, I guess, you know what? Maybe they would have made money on that. You know, it would have been awful, and they would have gotten a lot of shit for it that none of them wanted. But they at least would have made people would have watched that, I guess.
Do you think it would be that hard to do it with two other people who we just talk? It would be an easy show to do, and by the way, it wouldn't be toxic. It would be fun to do, and everyone else out there could react to the show. And do their
Not
own
toxic at all.
shit. But at least
Talking
the show
about
would be great, and
political
our
issues
bases and our communities and our audiences. That's what I wanted to do. But apparently, this is more important than that, right? Taking this big paycheck to be on this toxic ass show where it's a bunch of bullies in a shooting gallery is more important than actually doing something positive for the internet, positive for your audience. You know what I'm saying? Nope, I don't know what you mean. You tell me that anyone in their right mind would think that that's okay. I'm sorry, but anyone who's involved in this lolcow culture shit, you got to get yourself fucking reassessed at a fucking professional. I dare you.
Oh, this argument
go to
again.
A medical professional, a psychiatrist. Tell them you sit on the internet and all you do is you bully people or you laugh at other people bullying people and you watch degrading content about people who you think are pathetic. And this is your actual source of enjoyment. Tell me tell me what a medical professional would say in response to that.
Tell me, here's my counteroffer to you, Phil. Tell me what a medical professional would say to a grown man in his 40s sitting inside of a dark room all day, playing video games for 7 to 8 hours nonstop, ignoring his wife, yelling at strangers on the internet to give him money. What would a medical professional say about that, I wonder? No, that's positive content. You know, what getting involved in lolcow culture, that's sick. That's sick. And a medical professional would tell you so. Even though trash TV is literally a thing and has been a thing since pretty much TV has existed. Like, this is kind of just the extension of that, you know, watching train wrecks. But no, it's sick, and a medical professional would agree with Phil.
I would love to hear it, because there's a difference between, there's some celebrity gossip, or, oh no, my entire source of entertainment
There's a difference?
Okay.
Okay.
Get harmed, or we bully people, we degrade them. It's fucked up, all right? So, I watch a 20-minute video from Turkey Tom. It's my only content of his I've ever watched. And I find the guy's well-spoken, he's charismatic, he's intelligent, he can make a point.
Oh, I've seen this and I wanted to comment on it.
On the point of the fact that he thinks that I've had 10 years of failure. And that's okay, we can have that subjective disagreement and agree to disagree. But the moment that he says, you see, I just wish he would react to the documentary because that would give me more content. Then I could talk about it on the lolcast, or he can come on the podcast, and then we have even more content to make. And then I can milk him.
Yeah, and then we have even more content to make. He's focusing on the wrong fucking wording. And also, you know, he tried to do this with Tevin before, too. Like, when he would compliment him and suck his dick and be like, you know, he's talented, he's funny, he's blah, blah, blah. I don't see why he does this shit to me, you know? And it's like he's kind of doing a similar thing here now with Tom.
Further, but for now, I'm done milking him, all right? That's fucking disgusting. That's not even like a joke. That's not funny. That's fucking vile, all right? That's toxic.
You see, Phil, comedy, unlike your decade of failure, is actually subjective. So, while you think that is disgusting and not funny, you know, everyone else does, so...
That's harmful. That's fucked up. That kind of... And the fact that you can just nonchalantly say something like that, I'm done milking someone today. I want you to know how disgusting that sounds. You're milking a human, okay? Not even for sus, you're milking them for milk, you're milking them for profits, for money. And every time you do that, you hurt them. But you don't care. There's no quality, no moral compass here.
I thought you didn't care.
You're dehumanizing the person. You're literally categorizing them as an animal, not a human. You've degraded them to the point that they're just cattle, all right? That's really fucked up. It is. It's complete.
To be honest, Phil, I mean, wouldn't you rather be known as a cow than a pig? As you currently are?
Completely messed up. I can't believe people think that's okay. Right? When you're watching that lolcow show, and you're seeing people who are supposed to be, we're better than them, and we're just going to bully them. What makes you better than them? Exactly, what makes you better than them? Because you're toxic? Because you're okay with bullying people on the internet? You have no morals or...
Yeah, the people who report on lolcows, they're toxic. But the lolcows themselves are perfectly fine, well-adjusted individuals. Oh, man. But, alright. I think I've pretty much... seen all I need to see on this video and Phil's reaction to this, because it's from what I hear, it just devolves into rambling at this point. You know, typical DSP stuff. But Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this stuff because, you know, it's always funny to me how, you know, Phil, whenever presented with the opportunity to make money, gets hung up on the fucking stupidest little details. Like, oh, here's an opportunity to make $50,000. Oh, well, you didn't call me at the right time. Well, I was in the middle of a stream, and you called me while I was busy, instead of, like, ending the stream and taking the call, or even just being like, hold on, guys, I gotta pause the stream real quick, I gotta take this call, because there's a lot of fucking money on the line, and then, you know, like, oh, you didn't call me at the right time, you didn't email me, so, you know, that 50K isn't good enough. And similarly here, like, Tom is, like, saying, you know, again, he's focusing on the wrong thing, whereas Tom is saying, like, think of all the content we could make together and all the money we could be making. He's like, oh, you're milking me. You're milking me. Think about that. You're milking me as an individual. That is sick. That is sick. Like, he's getting caught up on the wrong words because he wants to focus on, like, things that would degrade and make the other person look bad. So that he can feel some sort of, like, fucking superiority, you know, moral superiority. Like, as he continues to beg his fans for money to keep the lights on. But he doesn't need to do that, guys. He's successful. So the next time he complains about bills, money, or his house being foreclosed on, taxes, or, you know, his bankruptcy, just remember, he is successful, all right? He didn't need 50K then. He doesn't need the money from the drama now. So I guess financially, he's set, okay? And don't let him tell you any different. All right, guys. But let me know what you think about this Turkey Tom DSP drama down in the comments. I'm Patrick, and I'll see you next time.